Hello, my friends. It's Nanny, fresh from her 4-day birthday and purge soiree. And in this video, you're gonna see me. I got caught dumpster diving in that great big overflowing 20-foot dumpster. Rescued a few things that got away from me when all the kids were purging. It was a wonderful 4 days. Yesterday was my birthday, and it was kind of a day of rest since it was such a wonderful weekend. But it is a relief. Things are off my mind. Children went home with truckloads of wonderful things that they loved, of my treasures, and I did manage to save and keep a ton of treasures too. The shed is looking beautiful. In fact, it's so clean that Shamu even slept in the shed last night. Now, he hasn't been in there in years because other little creatures took it over, I think, instead. So it's going to be a fun video. I'm going to tell you all about some things that happened over the fun weekend, and I will explain the incident of the being caught. Colleen took a video and sent it out to the siblings. What are you doing? Gotcha. I was going to ask Mike. No, Matthew bought these. I know.
I'm sending this to the siblings.
She caught me dumpster diving. Now, in my defense of the dumpster diving incident where I was caught by Colleen in a video, no less, I have to explain. Being curious, since it was all my treasures and various non-treasures up there overloading the dumpster the next day, when I went out to feed the cats and stroll around, there's still a lot to do. I just glanced up there at everything and I saw things, but I thought, nope, Nanny, no, just forget it. It makes you feel good to have everything so neat and organized, or almost ready. But I did spot 2 things up there, and I thought, I don't think those should have gone on. I remember telling Mikey may not, but then I heard some of the things would get put in a pile for people to review, and they would decide if they wanted it. If they didn't take it, somebody else would. And if they didn't take it, then on the dumpster they went. But I spied 2 things. But I knew that Colleen probably was checking on me that morning, the day after. And I thought, well, I'll go around the back of the dumpster. They won't be able to see me, and I'll see if I can rescue these things. Well, I did. I walked around the back by the garden side, hidden by this giant dumpster. And I did see two chairs. They're those folding chairs with the trays and the cups that you would go to sporting events with to watch the kids. And Matt had just bought them last summer, and he paid quite a bit of money for each one of them. There was nothing wrong with them. But it was just the spur of the moment thing. They were in the groove, and that stuff was just coming out and going into the dumpster. So fortunately, they were on the edge, and I didn't have to climb up into the dumpster. I don't know whether I would have or not. I don't think I could have. But I was trying to pull them out, and all of a sudden I heard this, "I see you." And I look in the side, and there's Colleen down the end of the dumpster with her camera videotaping me. She said, "I'm going to show the siblings this," which she did, by the way. She sent it out. Everybody got a big laugh out of it. But you know what? I think they expected me to do some dumpster diving when everybody left anyway. But I did rescue the chairs, and I took a picture of the chairs just to send to everyone to show them that there was a good reason for me dumpster diving. Have you ever dumpster dived in anyone else's dumpster when you saw something worthwhile saving, or in your own that something had gotten thrown away by mistake? I certainly have rooted through garbage pails that something has been thrown out by mistake. And I might have in my past, maybe with my mother back in the days, because she was a thrifter too and was very clever. She could reupholster and everything. And I think I remember taking some things. I think I told you about it. One day we took a chair from a curb on someone else's property that they had left out, and we did reupholster it. She did. But I might have climbed in a dumpster or two, but way back when. So that's my explanation in defense of my dumpster diving. I wanted to show you, look what I found. Well, I didn't find it. I ordered it on eBay, and I'm going to do a save. Remember that yogurt cake that I tried to make and it was a flop and it went in the trash? Well, I did send on Amazon for a 6-inch springform pan. So on camera with you ladies, I'm going to try a second time. If at first you don't succeed, you know the drill. I'm going to make this cake again, and I really wonder, have any of you made the cake? I'd love to have you let me know and tell me how yours turned out. This time I will make sure that I don't use baking soda. I will use the starch and I won't burn it. So some other things that I have to tell you. I'm on my way out now because I'm out of milk and cereal. The dumpster's been blocking the driveway, and I have my car on the other side of the driveway. So I'm going to go out. I need some things. I have no nail polish remover. I have scrunched my hair, so I feel so fresh. I just wish I had had a tub to soak my aching body after all the week of being on my feet and purging. And I thought I was done for the day before yesterday, but with a couple of good nights of sleep, believe it or not, ladies, I managed to sleep 5 or 6 hours in a row, 2 nights in a row. I guess that told you my body was doing it. I have my new Martha Stewart little vest on, which was given to me by Debbie and Barry, with the little cap sleeves, and I absolutely love it. I've been wearing vests nonstop because it's been very chilly. But right now, I'm going to run off to the store, get some nail polish. I need to get some stuff for my eyebrows. I've run out of some other things. And I'm doing great with the whitening of my teeth. I'm going to tell you all about it, but I think it's working. And I just spent an hour this morning with my strips in, and I think they're brightening up. So I'll leave now. Maybe I'll take you with me down to the stores. Just a few things I have to pick up. But Moosey's eating oatmeal with water, not milk, because I'm out of milk. So I'll catch you later. Well, true to form, I just checked that first little clip, and what the heck was under my eye? I noticed my eye was watering, and that's what happens when you don't use waterproof mascara. Oh, I think I've gotten it. Honestly, one of these days I'll manage to do it right, but I'm not going to do that bit over. So anyway, I think I fixed it. You know, this little incident of the eye mascara running down your face reminds me of a couple of things that I forgot to mention, and so many of those things I didn't mention in the previous video when I was talking about all the changes that happen to our lives as we grow older and age. And one of them that I've always meant to talk about is the constant running nose when you get to be in your late 70s or 80s for no reason at all. Doesn't seem to be allergies. It doesn't seem to be cold. And also the eye running. Well, I've spoken about my gorgeous Aunt Kathleen, who was in her late 70s, always carried a hanky. And she was the one that put the frownies, actually she put Scotch tape in between her eyes every night before she went to bed, even in her 70s. This was before they even made frownies. But she also carried a tissue and was always wiping her eyes. And I used to understand. One day she explained to me that when you get older, your eyes just weep a little bit. It's not crying always. It's just that the air gets it. And lo and behold, this has happened to me over the past year or so. In the car with the air conditioning, or just the air would get me, cold air, or I don't know what else. I don't know what happened in this video, but some water trickled down my eye, and obviously I didn't have water-proof mascara on, and that's what it was. I think I eventually felt it and tried to wipe it away. But when I looked all this up, I read that as you age, the nodules inside your nose begin to shrink and releases the runny nose business. And that's just a symptom of aging, which some of the things that happen, the skin thins out and these things happen. And the eye situation, it's the same. It's just the tear ducts form for certain reasons, and you have little bits of runny eyes. So just another thing to put up with, but that's okay. I know a lot of you had asked me if I would show some of the things from some of my treasures, especially the linens and lace and the antique laces and things from some of the tubs that were left over from my romancing the home days. And yes, I saved a lot of it, but the process of purging was going so fast with all these. Mikey was in the shed with my dubbies, my grandson Patrick, and they were just taking tubs down and checking. And I was in control in the beginning, but after a while, it just there were a couple of tubs that I didn't get, but they did not go on the dumpster. They were saved, but there's still some tubs I just haven't gone through yet. I have saved some of the fun laces and things. It's antique laces and things that I thought you might see. And some of my other little treasures in the way of teapots and things that are going to become Christmas presents. So I think that enough has been saved of the treasures to have a wonderful Christmas, and that will be fun. But I did bring in a few pretty little things that I would like to show you. So how does the eye look now? I thought I had done a good job this morning, but one boo-boo and you're gone. I think I've made the decision that I'm going to take these down, my fall decorations, since so many of the Christmas tubs were brought out and I hadn't seen them in so long that I got so excited about Christmas. And my granddaughter Molly has sent pictures of her Christmas decorating. Colleen has started to decorate for Christmas because her kids are coming home from college for Thanksgiving and they wanted to feel Christmas in the house. So I'm getting the fever, and I hope that maybe this week, while my Christmas tubs are out and my fall tubs are out, I can get all the fall stuff away and some of the Christmas out. So maybe I'll get to that. There's still some sorting out there that has to be done, and some empty tubs have to be filled so that there's nothing loose around. Here I am again with my lovely iced coffee. I had to go to CVS and get some different kinds of cosmetics. I needed, you know what I did buy this time? I did buy the Wet n Wild concealer, which I have been loving. And I've been using that. It's a fair beige, and I use that to cover those sunspots on my cheeks, which I love. And I think it sort of acts like a foundation. I don't put a foundation on. I just use that, and it works. And I did get my cheesy quesadilla. I haven't had one of these. You know what? I just realized it's Senior Day at Savers. 30% discount at the thrift shop. But you know what? I don't think I have the energy to go there today. And I still have more work out in the front of the shed. I have some more Christmas decorations. I have a lot of fall to put away. And I haven't quite finished putting all the loose things that we've gone through the purge back into some tubs. I do have a lot of extra tubs because we emptied them, and I'm just going to be so organized no one's going to recognize Nanny. So anyway, I did get a lot of coupons at CVS today. They have this coupon thing that you use, and you get, I think I got $4 off a jar of Tylenol. I didn't tell you, but over the course of this wonderful weekend, which started on Friday with Mikey and his family coming up, and they stayed all weekend in a local hotel. We can't put them up anymore in our tiny little cottage, but they stayed for all the festivities and the purge and everything, and Mikey took me out to breakfast. But I didn't tell you that we were on our way out Friday night to go to Red Lobster. Matt and Cindy were here because we were doing some pre-prepping for the purge. So when Mikey arrived with his whole family and the kids, Mikey said, let's go out to dinner. It'll be your birthday dinner. So we decided to go to Red Lobster, and Matt and Cindy were coming too. And we were headed out, and Moosey was using his rollator. And as we were sort of rounding the corner, it was dark. It was about 5 o'clock, and it gets dark early now. And as we were winding our way around, Moosey kind of tried to sit down, turn around and sit down, and he tipped the rollator, went sideways, and had a fall. And he did hit the side of the big dumpster, but the main problem was, thank God he didn't re-injure his broken hip or anything else, but he did fall on one side of his butt, and I think he hurt a little finger, but everything was okay. A little cut on his head, but thank God Mikey and Matt were there, and they were able to get him up, and he, said, okay, I'm good. But it's 4 days later today, and he still is a little shaky. He does have a horrible big bruise on his butt, and that's painful. So what Mikey did Friday night, we went back into the cottage, and Mikey said, okay, we're going to have the big feast right here in the cottage. So Mikey and Matt left, and Mikey was on his phone ordering things, family feasts and whatever, and they arrived back with the most wonderful selection of lobster tails. I think they must have had eight dinners of lobster tails and coconut shrimp and lobster fettuccine, and went on and on, extra shrimp, and of course those wonderful biscuits from Red Lobster. And we all sat in the cottage, and the kids and Sabrina and Cindy and I sat on my bed, and we had a picnic on the bed in the bedroom. It was a wonderful night. Moosey was a little subdued, but you know what? He's survived another bullet again, thank God. He's taking it a lot slower. His mobility is not good right now, but it always needs a week or so to recover his balance and everything. And of course, he's scared every time he falls like that, but thank heavens it wasn't a horrible one. He still was able to participate in the party. He wasn't outside during the purge. He was able to, didn't go out to breakfast. We did go out to breakfast Sunday morning, but he's good, and thank God the fall didn't do any harm. So I'm gonna take a bite of my cheese and egg quesadilla. I'm just sitting here in the parking lot, ready to go into my Vons. I haven't had any milk. Moosey had his oatmeal this morning with hot water, no milk. So I'm going to sit and finish my lovely breakfast here, and I'll join you when I get back to the house and finish the video. Well, I'm back from the store. Got everything I needed 12 bags worth. Some of the things that I picked up at CVS, I always need these pads to get the polish off my nails. I wind up using Kleenex and it's all squiggly and everything afterwards. So I did get some of those, and I never know exactly what kind of remover to get, non-acetone or acetone. And as you know, I do my own nails, so I'm always taking my polish off myself. But I was completely out, which is why my nails are a wreck. But I had seen, it just popped up in front of me on the Sally Hansen aisle. The other day I was watching a video. Sheila from Inside Beauty with the Old Gal was talking about the Sally Hansen foil nail polishes. And I happened to see them and picked this one up after I did up my thumb. And I liked it. It's a very pretty silver foil look. And maybe for the holidays that might be pretty, especially when I wear my silver jewelry. So thank you, Sheila, for the tip. I did see it, tried one thumb, and liked it. The other thing I picked up was another Wet n Wild palette. I do love that one that I had gotten for my light gray look on the mobile lid. But I also like a kind of a natural tan and brown look too, even though my eyes are blue. I love this. And these palettes are only $5.98 or less. You can get the smaller ones too. But I thought maybe for the holidays, these colors might be pretty also. What else did I pick up? I needed more of that Wet n Wild concealer. I buy the Fair Beige, which seems to be a good color. And by the way, it does cover up all those sunspots. And I don't use a foundation. I just use these concealers, the Wet n Wild, and I like them. I was also, my pencil had completely finished, the one that I was using on my eyebrows to fill in the hairs in the middle and to kind of help shape my brow. Someone had mentioned that I should hop on that and do a better job of shaping my brows because it frames the face, and I understand that. So I did buy one, and once again, it's a Wet n Wild pencil, I believe, and it's taupe. It's kind of hard to find the light colors because I don't like to pencil in my eyebrows with anything too dark. And it has the nice spoolie on the end, and it's that twist up pencil. I don't like the ones you have to sharpen, but I think I can also use it under my eyes to help do some shading. So I was able to pick up some things. And do you remember, or you must be aware of if you shop at CVS, these things, they go on forever and ever. The coupons. They've always done that. I can't understand why it looks like this, and I always have billions of these in my purse. But when I looked on there, I saved $4 on a big bottle of Tylenol. I saved $2 or $3 on some makeup, and also something on something else. So it was worth it this time to carry these around. One of the things I did bring in that I had talked about in the last video, all the unfinished projects that you do and you're enjoying them at the time, and then all of a sudden something happens that you don't finish. So I did find a couple of those that are quite a number of years old. And one of them, I believe, might be 40 years old or 45 years old. And Margie reminded me that this was somewhere in my pile of treasures out there in the shed. And I'm going to show it to you. When Colleen, well, actually, I started this before Mikey and Colleen were born. And they are both 46 and 47 or 48. Mikey's 18 months older than Colleen. And they were born about 8 or 9 years after the first four. And before they were born, I was very much into needlepoint and loving it at the time. I'm going to have to show you all these things. And I started a needlepoint when we were living in our family home down here in Southern California. We called it Red Barn Acre because we did have some horses, and the girls rode horses and showed them. And let me show it to you. This is it. Now I'm gonna have to put my glasses on to see that I'm not showing you the wrong side. Can you see it? It's an unfinished needlepoint. And what it shows you is part of our home, which was, I hope you can hear me through the needlepoint. The home was, we lived in it for 25 years in Southern California, and we moved down here in 1972 from San Francisco. Prior to that, we lived in Jersey for a while. Prior to that, it was Scotland. And here's the home. I drew it on the needlepoint, and then I put the barn, which I believe is over here, and we had 1 or 2 horses at that time. I think Dubby and Margie were both riding horses. They were like 9 or probably 8 and 10 when we moved here. So you can see the horses in there, in the barn over here. Where's that? Here's the barn, and here are the horses over here. I think Blondie's there and Blaze. And then in the front, you see the 4 kids, Dubby, Billy, Matt, and Margie. And I even put little outfits that they used to wear. Dubby had a patchwork quilt skirt. And then I dropped it. I got pregnant with Mikey and Colleen. And then afterward, when Colleen was about 2 years old, I picked it up again and I put Colleen in it, hanging from a tree over here on this side. And over here is little Mikey holding on to Billy's hand. So I added them, and I started to go like crazy working on it. And then once again, it became the victim of something else. So the other day, I guess about 2 weeks ago, I was looking at Facebook. I love to see what all the kids are doing. Some are on Facebook, some aren't. And Margie put a picture of this needlepoint on. It was supposed to be a pillow or in a frame. And she said, if I can find that, I'm going to finish that for Mom. And then I'm going to keep it and make copies of it for other kids, for the other siblings. So I found it, and there it is. Who knows whether Margie will finish it or whether I will. But that's one of the unfinished projects. One of the other ones is this one. Isn't that a pretty? Do you see the weave? Very easy to do. Combination of different stitches. Oh, this is the right side, I believe. The stockinette stitch and the basic knit stitch. And actually, it was I was making this for one of the grandkids. It's a baby blanket, and I can't even remember which one I was making it for. I probably was doing this maybe 5-10 years ago, and that's how far I got. So I thought that would be a nice thing. I used to knit when Moosey and I were watching TV, and that was at night. And yesterday I was talking on the phone to one of my older grandchildren, Katie, who lives in Canada on Vancouver Island in the most beautiful spot. It is so gorgeous there. The scenery is so unique and beautiful. And I taught Katie to knit when she was a young girl, I don't know, 10 or 11. And she became a master knitter. She can knit anything and has made beautiful sweaters and intricate designs, and always showing. I miss her. She's up in Canada. But she called to wish me happy birthday. And I said, Katie, I'm starting a tub for you with your name on it because I know she does so many crafts. She's so clever. She loves the blue and white dishes. I've already sent her some of those. She loves anything blue and white. I found some old blue and white French toile fabric that I've made draperies here, and I think I might have some extra for her. I have some extra plates. So I said, Katie, of all the things that you do, you must be into, and I said the word quilting. This is another something. I found a whole big box of squares. This is the batting for the back, and I was making a Christmas quilt. I had already started some of the squares, and I said, and this was 15 years ago, and Joanne's at the time was having classes and showing gals and ladies how to make this gorgeous Christmas tree that was made of all different patterns of green prints, and then around it were red and white, and everything was beautiful. But I've lost the directions, but I have a pile of these cut squares, and some started triangles and things. So I said, Katie, I have some wonderful quilt pieces for you to finish. Oh no, she said, that's the one thing I don't do, Nanny, no quilting. So I still have to find somebody in the family that would like to finish that. So that's just the bottom of the barrel of some unfinished projects. Would you like to tell me some of your unfinished products? They don't have to be in the sewing or knitting field. As you know, I showed you one of my unfinished paintings, and I have several of those. I even have a granddaughter. She's 17 now, and about 4 years ago, I did a picture of her from the back going into the ocean with her surfboard under her arm, with her long blonde hair hanging. And I just did the back of her figure with her butt and her legs and everything, but I hadn't put her bathing suit on yet. And she saw that and she said, oh, Nanny, please put a bikini on, but may I suggest the color? I want a pink bikini, not pale pink, but in between fuchsia and pink. Would you please put that on soon and don't show it to anybody until you put my bikini on? So I have some of those too. So tell me about some of your unfinished projects and how long they've been sitting waiting for you to get back to them. Well, as I bring this video to a close, I have to say that I have spent the last 2 days giving you all my love and my gratitude for all your wonderful happy birthday wishes and blessings and wonderful stories all about my birthday. Thank you so much for your love, for your wishes, and I wish I could have thanked you all personally, but please accept my little heart as my gratitude and my love. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you for watching the last video. It seems as though you all enjoyed and related to all the little happenings that happen. And yes, I have learned to live with all of them. I have found ways to compensate, even sitting on the back of the bed or leaning up against the wall. I do not still try to stand on one foot, although in the next video you might see me doing some exercising that might help some of this, and maybe one day I will be able to stand on one leg again. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless us all.